Hello. Welcome to a new vlog. It is Sunday. I don't know if Cappie did an intro thing, but I have, so we're good. So I am still in the middle of the turn, and I hate it. I'm going to talk about that later, though, because I think it'd be funnier to talk about it with Cappie to bounce off of. I'm going to open this, actually, by giving a couple of ratty updates, because things are going down here. Cappie mentioned in the last vlog that I'm trying not to curse, and I failed a lot last vlog, so I'm gonna try harder this time. But I'm reading a book I don't like, so I might have set myself up for failure. But anyway, so the babies are doing great. They're in Cappie's room, they're sweet, they're loving, nothing wrong with them. But Cappie mentioned something went wrong with Pilot last week, and I didn't talk about it because I honestly... Pilot's my heart rat. If you don't know what that means, basically means I have a closer bond with her than any of my other rats. And like, it basically means she's my favorite. I don't like saying that because I love all of my babies a lot, but she's my favorite. And she's 2 years and 2 months old, almost 2 years and 3 months old. And you know, rats only live 2 to 3 years. So once they hit 2, they're officially old. And every month after that, they just get progressively more ancient. So she's up there. And last week, a week from today actually, I had her out on the desk and she started to, by the way, content warning for animal illness. I'll put up a picture here if you don't want to hear any of it, because I understand that that's a trigger for me. It could be a trigger for you. If you don't want to hear any of it, I'll put up a picture and skip ahead till the picture's gone. It'll be a picture of a rat. Anyway, I had her out on the desk and she started to drip blood from her genital area. And my desk is white. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but my desk is white. So I feel pretty confident in saying that she hadn't started bleeding before that, because I think I would have noticed. But this is a pretty bad thing. She's an unspayed female over 2, and there's this thing called pyometra, where basically it's an extreme infection of the uterus where the only solution is to have the rat spayed. And with her age and the fact that she didn't do well under surgery a few months ago when I had a lump removed, I don't feel comfortable putting her under anesthesia. Thankfully, the vet doesn't think it was pyometra. She said that Pilot's acting way too healthy and happy for it to be that. So it's probably just a urinary tract infection. She's been on medicine since Tuesday. Antibiotics, Clavamox specifically, and she's doing a lot better. She's doing like really good now, so there's nothing to worry about with Pilot. However, as I said, they only live 2 to 3 years, so pretty much around a year and pretty much around a year and 3 months they're middle-aged, and they're middle-aged till they reach like a year and 11 months or so. That's when I start considering them old, definitely up to, depending on how they're acting. And how many? I have 3 that are 2 or over, and then I believe 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 7 that are middle-aged, and then Sailor and her sisters and the babies are still young. And when they reach middle age is when things start to go wrong. So Welsie has a tumor on her neck and on her throat, really. And the vet says that she doesn't think it's operable because of all this stuff that's there. And I'm not gonna try, because I don't want her to die bleeding from her throat alone in a vet office. So I'm just gonna let her live out the rest of her life as happily as possible. And when the tumor, it constantly grows. Mammary tumors just constantly grow. And when the tumor reaches a point where it's affecting her life, I will make the decision to put her down. Hopefully that's not for a long time. I'd love it if I had her till she was 2, but she's a year and a half and the tumor is in a bad spot. I won't go into details about like how it can affect her, but it can affect her pretty badly. And then yesterday I noticed Merritt had a tumor. And Merritt's tumor is growing fast, and it's in almost the exact same spot. Now, it's not in the exact same spot, so I am going to be taking her to the vet in the hopes that I can get it taken care of. But it's growing fast, as I said, and I'm worried. I'm not gonna lie, I'm worried. I've had rats for 12 years. I've had, like, including the babies now, I've had 35 rats. I've lost 20. like, owning rats is not for the faint of heart. People like to say it's easy, it's simple, but rats bond to you the way a dog would, and you bond to rats really intensely as well. And in my opinion, they're harder to take care of than any free-range animal that I've had, which is dogs and cats. It's not always fun. I'm just letting you guys know, because I probably won't show merit or mercy, because it can be distressing to see a rat with a tumor. But if you see them in the background and you notice it, that's what's happening. I'm going to try and get merits removed, but it is what it is. So that is my update. I will talk more about the book later. Hopefully have happier thoughts. I didn't intro my other clips that time.
Yeah.
I did a clip this morning. I told you I was explaining what's going on with my children.
Yes.
Not those children, the other children.
There's many children.
Yeah, many. I have 15 children now. Of the rat variety anyway. I still have 2 dogs, 3 cats, and 3 fish tanks.
Countless human children.
Oh yeah.
Discarded.
I don't talk about them. I don't love them.
Yeah, well, they were sold, so, I mean, it's not really your business to love them, I think.
Yeah.
She sold them to protect them. They're currently living on Jakku.
Anyway, if you saw that pet video a few weeks ago, I didn't show the tanks.
The fish.
And I'm sorry.
The fish children.
Tanks don't really film well anyway, but I have 3 tanks. One's empty. It's going to be a shrimp tank.
Yeah.
But anyway. Yeah, we did that today.
Oh my god, yeah. We emptied some of the water, we cleaned.
Yeah.
I mostly just stood there.
Yeah, I did the weekly water change for my 35-gallon. I have a 35-gallon fresh water, a 50-gallon salt water, and then the shrimp tank, which is also technically a fresh water, is 20 gallons. And I want a 60-gallon so bad.
One day.
So bad. I know I have a lot of pets, but they're healthy, and I take care of them.
Yeah.
She also has 2 rats. There's a lot of animals in this house. It's my vibe, okay?
Can you hear them? Can you hear them? Because I can hear them at 3 o'clock in the morning ripping up that bag I kindly gave them.
We're bringing chaotic energy to this vlog.
I'm so sleepy. I fell asleep really recently, and I woke up. And
Was that when I brought fries to you?
Yeah. I was talking about Batman. I was just like, Court of Owls. There's the Night of the Owls, and it's got Batgirl in it. It does have Batgirl in it. What are we here to talk about? Yeah,
so I told you earlier I was saving my The Turn thoughts for when I was with Cappie, because I thought she'd be humorous about it. And things have gone downhill.
More downhill.
Yeah, we started at the middle of the hill, and now I'm at the bottom of the hill.
We've gone downhiller.
Yeah. I didn't tell them anything that I told you.
Should we prop this up so it's on display?
Yeah, that's a tomato she's holding.
Yeah.
It's a black tomato. So, consider it, like, when this is up, you're in spoiler territory for this book and The Hollows.
Yeah, by Kim Harrison.
Yes. If you don't want spoilers or you don't think you're going to read it,
like, comment, and subscribe.
Do as you wish. Okay. The problem with frickin' prequels. I'm trying not to curse. I'm very bad at it. The problem with prequels. Okay, if you happen to have, like, for example, a trilogy, and then later you go 20 years into the future, that's fine. The problem with doing a book that's set before everything, after everything, is that people feel this unexplainable need to tie everything back into the characters that we know and love. And by doing that, you make the world small. You make it clear that nothing interesting is going to happen outside this group of characters. And I hate it. In this book, Al, who is a demon from the Hollows, appears, and he's just inexplicably connected to Trent's mom, which we never learn about in the Hollows as far as I remember. And then Trent's mom and her dad are the ones who start the turn, which is what creates the entire world to begin with. You know, and by that I mean, like, the world we know. I've told you before, it's a pandemic started by a genetically altered tomato that forces they call them Enderlanders, which confuses me, because at first I thought they called them Enderlanders because of something in the Hollows, like a specific place in the Hollows, but they're calling them Enderlanders here too. So I guess I was wrong. Or her continuity is wrong, because her continuity is wrong within this book. There's flaws within this book.
Have you gotten into why this book exists?
Not yet. I'll get there. Trent's parents, the start of their relationship, his dad is mad at his mom because... So he did something stupid and lost a job, and he's blaming the mom because the mom was there. So they split up for a couple of years, and then they meet back up because he's supposed to be testing her work, and she's convinced he's going to steal it.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, he does try to steal it, and because her work's so good, he's just like, I am not going to let this person beat me. I'm not going to be outdone by a woman. And so he does something that he shouldn't do, and it unleashes a plague upon humanity. And some Enderlanders, but mostly humanity. And he manipulates her into sex, which she knew he was doing, but she allowed it to happen because she wanted to get ahead at work. I hate it. I hate it. Oh, and again, we're in spoiler territory. Rachel's dad shows up.
Okay, I should real quick say, she's read all the Hollows books several times at this point, right?
Yeah.
I only ever got about halfway through, and then I stopped because, to be honest, I wasn't terribly interested to begin with, but I kind of gave up and I never got back to it. It's been about 10 years. I will also, as a side note, say I don't think there's ever been a greater show of your faith in me and your trust in our friendship except when you let me borrow your hardcover signed edition of A Fistful of Charms.
Yeah.
Which I've never seen a signed edition for sale, but the ones that aren't even signed in, just in acceptable condition, are hundreds of dollars.
Yeah. But
so I vaguely know what she's talking about.
It's so bad. Like,
for those who don't know what's talking about, Rachel is the main character of the original The Hollows series. I don't know how many people know this who are watching.
It's a very popular series, but I don't know what our audience reads.
But yeah, just to let you know. So basically, in this prequel story, she threw in the original main character's dad, who, as far as I had seen, hadn't popped up. How do they know each other?
He had popped up, but she didn't know he was her dad. So she has a man who raised her, who is her father, and then she has the man who her mom slept with in order to get pregnant with her. Deliberately. She did this deliberately. Do you remember Takata?
No.
He's the musician. Like, he barely features as far as you've gone in, but like he's her biological father. And he's in this book.
Great.
Just for a cameo, but he's in this book.
Okay. Before we go further, because I think it's going to come up, should we talk about why this book exists? Because I think that the context, I think, will answer a lot of the why is this character in this question.
Kim Harrison is the author of the Hollows series. The first one came out, I believe, in 2006. Oh, by the way, and his mom's pregnant in this, and if that's Trent, her timeline is like 15 years off. Because Trent's only 3 years older than Rachel.
Isn't this the 60s or 70s?
This is the 60s. And they
had
had sex and she's pregnant. So if this is Trent, I haven't finished the book yet. So if it's Trent, her timeline is completely fucked because he's only a couple of years older than Rachel. Like, they went to camp together.
Okay. Did she just throw out all continuity for the sake of that sweet, sweet dollar bill?
The thing is,
that doesn't make any sense.
Elves don't carry children to term, and the children don't survive very long, so it's entirely possible that it's not Trent. It's just like their firstborn.
But then why get pregnant at all if it's not going to be Trent? Why have her
force them to be a married couple, basically?
Because
of the way the Elven society is, I think that's the angle she's going for. Because they hate each other.
Why can't she just have them fall in love like a romance?
Because he's killing off humanity in droves.
Yeah, but they're both bad people, and Trent's
I hate them both.
Trent's kind of a bad person too for a while.
But he's not an irredeemably bad person. He's just kind of a jerk for most of it, and then he does a couple of things that are like, okay,
He did shake her up when she was in a little cage.
Yeah. Like, he's not irredeemable, though. There is a fine line, but he
didn't kill billions of people.
Trent's father, Cal, his name's also Trenton Callamack, but Trent's father, Cal, is an irredeemable scumbag. There is no coming back from this man. He's actively trying to get other people killed so that people don't blame him for the plague.
They're dead in the hollows, right?
Yeah, they're both dead. I have very little investment in them. I had very little investment in them in going in, but now I'm just like... But the other issue, the other continuity issue, and I'm going to get into why this book exists in a second. I'm sorry, guys. But the other continuity issue is pixies can see auras. And when you deal with a demon, you get a... She calls it smut.
What?
But it's a blackness on your aura. It's kind of like smoke on your aura. It's a film. And pixies can see auras. She mentions it within this book, too. And then Trent's mom pushes her demon smut onto Cal. And Cal has a pixie working with him, and the pixie doesn't notice. Read your own work!
You can tell her.
But anyway, so this book exists because she started The Hollows. I believe the first one came out in 2006. And then it was wildly successful. She's one of the most popular urban fantasy authors, or at least she was. I think she still is. And in, what was it? 2015? 2016? Something like that. She ended The Hollows. And she kind of pushed out the last few books because she was ready for it to be over. And she had a new series coming out. And she was switching publishers, genres, and series. And in doing so, she, I guess, didn't anticipate what would happen. But her sales dove off the edge of a cliff. It almost killed her brand name entirely.
Yeah, this, like, the world of writing is so, like, feast or famine. You can ruin your whole career. It's terrifying that you can be, like, at the top of your genre, like, one of the people who really hammered in, and then you come out with a book not in your genre, it doesn't sell well, and you're just done. Yeah.
So, the book she came out with, it was called The Drafter, and it had a gorgeous cover. They thought it was going to do amazing. I thought it was pretty.
It's alright. A little messy.
It's not really messy.
I don't know.
So once a tree and a clock.
Yeah, I don't know.
Alright. But, it was called The Drafter, and they thought it was going to do amazingly. So well that they got her own tour bus. And, it did horribly. It did so bad that they weren't even sure the sequel was going to come out at all. And then the sequel did come out, but it came out in mass market paperback. And that one did so poorly that the series was canceled entirely. And for a bit, she didn't come out with anything. I think she took like a year off. And I remember reading her blog posts, and she came out, like, she was very disheartened by this. To the point where she came off angry. And she would say things like, she would post like a page-long thing of just something she had written that was urban fantasy, and she'd say things like, "This is what you want, right? I'm not allowed to grow, right?" And she'd post it. And that's around the time I stopped kind of paying attention to her, because it just made me uncomfortable, if I'm being honest. I wasn't happy with what happened to her. I had bought the Drafter. I didn't buy the Operator, though, because she made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, you can't guilt trip your audience for not hopping genre, because I think it's a lot to ask to go from urban fantasy to
sci-fi.
That's a lot to ask of an audience. And I get, like, okay, if you're like established and you have this fan base, sure, you're gonna get some people, but like I like urban fantasy and I don't like sci-fi. There's not a lot of authors who, like Rick Riordan, who I love, if he all of a sudden started doing sci-fi, I wouldn't read it. I've been reading him since I was 16, and I wouldn't. My love of an author doesn't transcend my distaste for certain genres, and I think a lot of people, readers, are very specific in their tastes, which you have the right to be. Like, I think that they feel that way too about genre. Like, she just didn't do it right. She should have, like, it should have been like boiling a frog. She came out with the first one and the new one as she was still coming out with the Hollows, but instead she waited till the Hollows was over. You need to have both. So if people, like, finish one of the Hollows and they still want Kim Harrison, they're like, oh, well, she's got this other one out. I can read that while I wait for the next Hollows book. But she didn't do that. And, I mean, you can't get mad at an audience for not liking something.
And I've seen this kind of thing with other authors, too. Not to the same extent. Like Charlene Harris, when she ended Sookie Stackhouse, and she came out with Midnight...
Is that Texas?
Midnight Crossroad? Midnight Texas? Whatever that book is. I have it and I've read it, but I can't remember what it's called right now. When she came out with it, it didn't do very well. And then when she came out with the next book, the little blurb at the front is... It says, "This is dedicated to everyone who will follow me anywhere." Because it didn't do as well as Sookie Stackhouse, because of course it didn't. So it's not an uncommon thing, but I just assumed Kim Harrison didn't think that was going to happen. So after The Drafter and the Operator failed dramatically, if I'm being honest, she came out with this, which is a prequel to The Hollows. Gallery Books. I don't know if this is the same publisher. I don't think it is. As The Hollows, I mean.
You talk, I'll find out.
And as far as I know, the reception was pretty good. I personally hate it. I think it's filled with garbage people doing garbage things.
Fan service. Also.
And I don't care for it. It's very, it's exactly what you'd expect from a prequel. It makes everything quite small, and it leaves you wondering, why didn't I hear about any of this in The Hollows? And maybe she explains it. As I said, I'm not completely done with it, but what?
She's with Ace for at least the new Hollows. I'll check the old ones.
I think the old ones were with, is it Voyager?
HarperCollins.
Well, HarperCollins.
They could have bought it, though. The publishing world is so complicated, so we don't know. But you have the original hardcovers, but the first 4 are reissues, right? So
yes.
If you check book 5, that one will be the best indicator.
I think it's...
I don't have any in here.
I can check later. Maybe I'll update you.
Who owns Gallery? Is that HarperCollins?
I have no idea.
I think it's an imprint of HarperCollins.
Okay. Spoiler section done. Where are you?
Oh, what I've been reading.
Yeah.
I'm still on Bloodbound, which I don't own because it's really hard to get. I think I'm a good chunk in. I can't say...
I'm not upset with her about her opinions, by the way. We're still cool.
We're not, actually. We're sitting together, but we're faking it. I'm halfway through Bloodbound. It's okay so far. I feel similarly to this as I did about the early Alpha and Omega, though. So, I mean, I'm not like, oh, I'm not going to like it. I'm just not enjoying it as much. Yeah, I feel like once the status quo like plateaus, in the sense that like once she's mated and like the kid's around all the time later on, right?
Yeah, for the most part. She's in, I think, every book, but she is at some point going to go to college. Once I get to where like this is it, it's Mercy and Adam.
No, I was going to purposely not say his name as a spoiler.
Yeah.
Once Mercy and Adam are married, I imagine I'm going to like it better, just because like she doesn't do a lot of like the angst apparently and push and pull I like in relationships.
No,
so right now them not being together isn't doing anything for me, so they might as well be married. Because like Charles and Anna, it was like, my wolf has picked you, and she's like, dope, and then they're just together. And I hated it a little at first, but then I was like, no, all right, I get it, that's cool. So I'm waiting until then. So when Bonecrossed comes by, if I don't love it by Bonecrossed, then I'll start to worry. And then I have a lot of things on my list. I'm in a ton of trouble, actually. I got White Smoke by Tiffany Jackson. I am reading...
That's a hell of a cover.
Which one? This one?
No, the one next to it.
The Old Lady by Midnight by Tessa Dare, which I'm trying so hard to finish. I'm just bored. I'm halfway through The Heart Principle by Helen Huang. And then before I got all these books, I'm like, oh, I've got some slots open. I'll get some stuff. So I got The Last Jedi by Charles Schul. I got Lost Stars by Claudia Gray. Master and Apprentice by Claudia Gray. And Leia, Princess of Alderaan by Claudia Gray. And that's what I'm dealing with this week. Pray for me. I'm not feeling good about it.
Well, we'll see you next clip. I finished The Turn. I got 1 star. I disliked it greatly. I hope you guys can hear the crunching of my rats eating their snacks. I love it. Anyway, I'm going to be starting The Good, the Bad, The Good, the Bad, the Undead. I don't think there's an end in there. I can't remember, though. It's the second in the Hollow series by Kim Harrison. I know, I just finished The Turn, so why would I be subjecting myself to another one? Well, because I only had 3 days to finish it at the library. That's why. In this one, Rachel gets into trouble with the local vampires. A lot of stuff happens in this one, like I said before, with Dead Witch Walking. A ton happens in these books. But basically, this one's a vampire one, basically. And in this one, she also has to catch a fish, and it turns out to be a wish fish that she finds out later. But my thoughts on that real quick, since I might not update you again till Cappie and I hang out for our midweek check-in in a couple days. I don't know what Kim Harrison has against fish, but she treats this fish terribly.
I'm just minding my own business, watching Arkham City videos. Are you boggling threateningly at me? Are those thread boggles? Oh, I moved my leg. Where did your sister go? Where is she? Are you, is that because of Batman? Is this happening because of Batman? There she is. Wookie.
It was here when I got here. Someone knew who he was. How do you know? There are dead people all over this hellhole.
I do this when Batman
This was
comes
an
on too.
execution. One bullet to the head. Perfect shot. Really? What's so special about this guy? The only thing.
I have finished The Good, the Bad, and the Undead by Kim Harrison, second in the Harley series. I think I'm going to give it 4 stars. It has some problems, naturally, starting with the fact that like it has some bad phrasing in regards to people with mental illness and very victim blamey. Like it has a lot of moments where it's just like, oh, that smacks of she shouldn't have worn that skirt. My dog. But I still enjoyed it. Like when I ever start The Hollows or Mercy Thompson, I'm just like, that's all I want to read. Everything else looks like garbage. And I'm just like, why can't I just read this stuff? But yeah, I'm going to give it 4 stars. And the next book I'm going to start is Hard Bitten by Chloe Neal. And I don't remember what that one's about, so I'll have to tell you later.
Clip time.
Wow.
Hi. Oh, we're saying hello to the home viewers.
So, what are you reading?
I'm desperately trying to finish A Lady by Midnight, which is maybe the most boring Tessa Dare book
I
I've ever
actually
read.
returned the Tess Dare book I had. I didn't even try to read it because I just wasn't in the mood. It was like Romancing the Duke. Was that what it's called? I wasn't interested, and I was just like, I'd rather be reading The Hollows and Mercy.
I'm so bored reading this book, and it's like, I don't want to DNF it with an hour left. I hit my goal. I hit my Goodreads goal. I'm at like 102 books.
I saw that, yeah.
But like, I still don't want to just like DNF it. But I'm so bored. I don't find anything interesting happening. It's just the same thing over and over again, which is my fault, I guess. Or maybe it is her fault for writing the same book over and over again.
Yeah, the thing with all romances, at least to an extent, is like, you know what's going to happen. And sometimes it's fun.
To this extent, every beat is the same. It's like...
Yeah, it's like you come in for the fun in between all the story beats you're used to. Mm-hmm. And when the in-between bits aren't fun, it makes for a bad romance.
Yeah, so not the good Lady Gaga kind, but the, oh my god, I've wasted 10 hours of my life kind. But yeah, I've got literally like an hour or 2 left.
Oh, wow.
The other
like,
stuff...
real time or book time?
Real time. So I'm still...
In case you're wondering what that meant, we
doubled the speed.
Yeah.
I'm halfway through Bloodbound. I haven't done any more.
That's okay.
I still have White Smoke, which I want to start. That's going to be a fun horror, but it's like, it's young adult, but I do like Tiffany Jackson. Mm-hmm. So Tiffany D. Jackson. So I'm hoping I like it.
If you're not in the mood to read, that's also fine.
But we do a reading vlog. So
I'm reading. I finished The Good, the Bad, and the Undead.
All I've talked about is Batman. All I want to talk about.
That's fine.
All I want to talk about is Batman.
Talk about Batman.
You don't want me to talk about Batman.
We'll call it a reading vlog and confuse people. It'll be fun.
It's just me talking about Batman and Harley Quinn.
Yeah, do it.
I'm having a hard time with this Harley Quinn cartoon because it's a little anti-Semitic, and I'm Jewish. Not that I'd be cool with it if I wasn't Jewish, but it sticks out more because I am Jewish. It really got to me that the Jewish landlord was about to burn a bunch of bodies in an oven. Mm-hmm. And it's like, was that... Like, it was an old pizza oven because it was in a mall. And it's just like, it led to them having the mall layer. I don't think it was on purpose, but it still, like, wasn't... I didn't love it. Yeah, and then Harley's Jewish, and it hasn't come up yet. And I know when it does come up, it's going to be all stereotypical. Like, she's got a Jewish mother, even though her dad's supposed to be a Jewish one. Which I'm not pleased about. And then... the Jewish lightning joke they made to burn the place down for the insurance money I didn't like, because that's what that is. Jewish lightning. Have you heard that phrase?
Oh, you told me about it.
Yeah, and then the other thing was Penguin. His son had a bar mitzvah, and it was money themed, and like that's funny in the sense that like of course the Penguin would have like a money themed thing, but like don't do that if they're Jewish. Could have been any other character, but I don't think it was on purpose. A lot of the writers on the show are Jewish, but it just bugs me.
Yeah.
And I'm having a really hard time. This one's a smaller one. I'm just having a hard time getting past how bad Kaylee Cuoco is in the part.
Yeah.
Like, she's trying to do something, but it's not like Harley Quinn.
Do you remember when she was on Charmed?
I didn't really watch those, but yeah, I do.
She was terrible.
She's not a good actress.
It was
I don't
so
know
bad.
how she has a career. No offense if you're watching,
she's
Kaylee.
She's a sitcom actress, which means you don't have to be a good actress.
But she was like the worst part of the 8 Simple Rules. Like she wasn't really funny. Like I didn't like her in Big Bang Theory, and I hate that show. But like I just didn't think she brought anything to it. I think she's kind of mediocre. I don't know. It just kills me that she's like, I didn't want to do the Harley Quinn accent because I wanted to be different and bring my own take to it. And it's like, you wanted to be different, so you chose to strip her of her like most distinguishing feature.
And give her your voice instead.
Yeah, just your normal voice, but she still says Mr. J, and I can't get. That's so weird. She doesn't do the accent at all, except sometimes she drops G's. She says yeah instead of you.
I gotta get Wicked. Hold on. Okay.
Is she gonna climb on you?
Oh, she was going to.
I just think she's phoning it in.
Yeah.
And it's just, it sucks because every other aspect of the show, pretty much is like pretty good. Like, except the designs of the characters, which they lifted like completely from certain things. Like their designs they just stole from other people's designs.
Yeah, I remember I edited the last vlog.
Yeah, it's just weird to see like Harley Quinn's outfit for the show is her outfit from the cover of Hot in the City by Amanda Conner, which I know you don't know what that is. Or you might if you edit it, because I think I held the book up because I have it.
Yeah, you did.
But you just...
Also, I know what that cover looks like, because Hot in the City is something you've brought up no less than a dozen times in our friendship. Why are you mad?
I'm sorry that I like things. I'm sorry that I
didn't say it was a bad thing, madam.
My dad also bought me a t-shirt with Harley Quinn on it, and it's got that exact same pose. And I bought my t-shirt, like, a decade ago.
Yeah.
But, I mean, yeah, it's because I love Hot in the City. That's how I clocked that outfit immediately, is because I know Hot in the City very well, because I love Harley Quinn. She's my favorite other than the Riddler.
Yeah.
And I guess I could probably say I like Harley better than the Riddler. I love her. She's Jewish. She's bisexual. She's just a lot of fun. She's really smart. I love her character. So to see her finally get her own TV show and everyone around her is so good and she sucks because they picked this talentless actress, no offense. Mm-hmm. It's just kind of sad because I think the show could have been like really good. Like the writing's pretty funny most of the time. But like why do you pick her? And even when they picked the chick that played Bernadette, at least she did the accent. It wasn't great, but she played it correctly. I hate everyone for the Big Bang Theory because of how they are in that show. I find it offensive and irritating, especially to the autistic community. But yeah, not pleased. But all I've been doing is watching Batman stuff, and then DC Fandom is coming up on October 16th. Mark your calendars. Free event on the website that I'm shilling for. I'm not being paid. I wish I was, but they're going to announce new information, and we're going to hopefully see gameplay footage of Justice League or Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League and Gotham Knights, what I've been waiting for well over a year.
Anyway, I finished The Good, the Bad, and the Undead.
How was it?
It was actually good. Like, I like the Hollows. I've never not liked the Hollows. It's just, it's better when you're young and you don't necessarily see all the problematic stuff, or I guess like when we were young and before all the problematic stuff was like people were aware of it. I mean,
I don't necessarily like that excuse of like times were different, but like they were, in the fact that like we just didn't know. Yeah, I guess that's just how it is.
But it's still fun, and I'm not one of those people that gets bogged down necessarily by that, because it is a story and people are like that, and it's fine to have characters that are flawed and still enjoy a story. This
author is flawed, so
I don't use fiction as a way to map out my morals, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, she said some questionable things about like schizophrenia.
I'm sure she did.
And
people
then,
still do.
Yeah, and then the victim blaming was... You don't remember?
I haven't read those books in 10 years.
So basically, do you remember Ivy would sometimes attack Rachel?
Yeah.
Well, instead of it just being like Ivy having trouble controlling her vampire nature, it's always like Rachel apologizing for triggering her. So it smacks very much of you shouldn't have worn that skirt.
Oh God.
Sometimes
the Ivy Rachel stuff's hard for me because of how people were about it. And kind of how the author was, because it felt a little queerbaity.
It's absolutely
on purpose. She said that.
I don't know if she did it on purpose, but like if it was unintentional, then the thing with Kim Harrison is she's got a big career, but she never got past juvenile writing, and by that I mean she doesn't plan out everything. So she'll throw something in there just because it sounds cool, and then she won't explain it ever. So, and when people asked, that's what she says. Like, oh, I just thought that sounded good.
That's the thing with a lot of authors that kind of hit immediately. Like, overnight successes are taught that they never have to evolve or get better. I can name some examples, which I will not. But, yeah, it kind of sucks because there's a lot of people who get accepted immediately. I will say this one, and if you think I'll get in trouble for it, I'll explain it. Like, Tommy Adeyemi hit overnight. She wrote Children of Blood and Bone, and she kind of had this entitlement, and then she thought that, which author did
Nora
you think?
Roberts.
That Nora Roberts stole her title to get, like, attention on her book, and it's like, that sounds like... That's the most immature thing. Like, you think Nora Roberts stole your title from you to get some attention on her book? She's Nora Roberts. You're the baby.
Yeah,
here.
I remember Kelly Armstrong. All she did was she posted one tweet saying, "Thank God I wasn't an overnight success and I got to avoid all of this."
That happens a lot, though, with, people who kind of immediately get popular without having to, like, pay their dues, is they don't realize...
Sorry, I'm grabbing Wicket if the camera's wonky.
Yeah, it's just like when you hit overnight, you don't understand how lucky you are and how like out of the realm of normalcy that is. So you don't learn, like if you query to one person and you get accepted, then obviously you're not gonna have any kind of editor who's really telling you to change stuff, and then your writing never ever evolves, and it's just. You write this, if you write the same as you do 10 years before, that's a real problem. And your audience is going to grow. Like, did you lose her?
No, she's behind me.
Yeah, I don't want to name necessarily more examples, but I can think of some. And it's just like, it's kind of unfortunate because I feel like you deserve to have editors tell you what you can improve. And these ones that hit so big don't ever get that. So they do like the baby writer mistakes of, every sentence when the characters are talking, they say each other's names.
Yeah.
And a lot of telling, not showing. It's just like I've DNF'd books because of the characters constantly saying each other's names.
Sorry, I had to move Wicket.
What was that one? That Pride and Prejudice one? I can't remember, but
I think it was just called Pride.
Every sentence they would say each other's names.
Yeah.
And I finished that book. But it was so irritating. I can't handle, like, I don't know how that even happens. Like, that's such a weird one. But, like, editors don't edit that out because they're popular writers, and editors, for some reason, with more popular writers, edit less. Like, Sarah J. Maas needs to be edited down 200 pages per book, and no one dares tell her what to do. Leigh Bardugo needs to get edited all the rape stuff out of her books, and no one tells her not to do that. Maybe a child didn't need to get raped on page in Ninth House, Lee. Maybe that didn't need to happen. Or maybe if you desperately did need it to happen, you could have had it just be something she said and not on
Batman
the page.
makes you spicy.
I love Batman.
Alright, I'm ending this clip.
You see this? You see my beautiful babies cuddling in there? Cuddling to the sounds of Midnight Mass by Mike Flanagan playing in the background. Look at that paw, top of his sister's head. You can't tell me. That's not beautiful. Do you love all the negative space above my head? That's because I can't get the camera to sit up correctly, which is great. But I have my children on my lap. It's Wednesday. It's been a rough day. It's been a little bit of a rough week. on top of last week, which was rough, which is cool. I love that. I love just like relentless roughness. That's my very favorite. But I did get some reading done today. I finished Lady by Midnight, and I don't have much of an opinion on it. It was the most boring of all the Tessa Dare books, and that could be because I'm just so used to her beats. I think I mentioned that in the clip we did earlier today, me and Sarah. But yeah, I was just bored. By the time it was over, I didn't really care what was happening, so I rated it 2 stars, which is really, really low, but I was so bored. But I read a little bit of Bloodbound by Patricia Briggs, which I would go get, except it's in the living room and also very expensive, so I don't want to go grab Sarah's book without talking to her. But yeah, I read a little more, still roughly about halfway, a little bored with that. I'm under the impression that maybe I'm just bored with everything, because that's how I felt with the other thing I was reading too. I think I'm just having a not great day and maybe a bit of a reading slump, because everything is boring me a little bit, because I don't have any opinions on the Patricia Briggs other than I'm still waiting to get into it. Like Sarah thinks I'll be into it by the 4th book. I'm really hoping that's true. The 3rd thing I'm reading is The Heart Principle by Helen Huang, which I am just over 50% into. I won't give any spoilers, but if you don't know, the premise of that one is a woman and her boyfriend. She wants to move along in the relationship, and he has decided to make it an open relationship so he can, make sure he's not missing out on anything, which is just so great and nice. But she meets a nice fella, and they're trying to, have a little fling. And it's gotten a little serious because at this point, again, spoilers, the main character, Anna, her father is sick and they're taking care of him. So it's definitely not a rom-com. I would still say it's a romance, but it's very kind of sad. And I am assuming it's going to get sadder because I'm pretty sure the 3 parts of the book are labeled before, during, and after. So I've got my assumptions on what's going to happen, but I am enjoying it. Still enjoying it less than the other 2 in this trilogy, which doesn't mean I'm not enjoying it a ton. It just means that I really love the other 2. Ow, okay, ow, oh, my back. Oh, your sharp little nails. Oh my God, ow. Thank you for the pain. Thank you for the immense amounts of pain. Wicket was sitting on one of her lava ledges, staring at me over in my chair while I was trying to get work done. So I thought I needed to turn my computer off and come over here. You little punk. Do you think you're cute? Do you think you're adorable? You would be correct, but I'm not gonna let you win. Yeah, why don't you go in your space pod? Why don't you go in there? Why don't you hang out in your space pod? I'll give you some treats, you little hooligans. Anyway, yeah, so I'm just over halfway. Do you like that the frame just changed? I personally love that. I blame the rats for their movements. Anyway, yeah, just over halfway with The Heart Principle. I'm halfway through The Heart Principle, and I'm enjoying it. I'm a little bored with everything that I was reading tonight, so I'm thinking it's just me because it was just like a bit of a rough evening, so my heart's not really in it, I guess. I kind of just want to play with my rats. I'm just not having a great week. I think Sarah would probably agree. I don't think she's having a great week either. Yeah, I think I'm just having an off week reading wise, so I'm hoping that in the next couple days maybe I can bounce back. It might be a reading slump. I've been reading so much lately, just like kind of pounding stuff, that maybe I overdid it a little bit. And sorry, I'm not looking up. I'm feeding my rats snacks. I might have overdone it with books and I burned myself out a little bit because that's kind of how I feel with work right now. Just really burned out. I've been sleeping a lot lately. Yeah, I don't know what's up, but I was considering pausing reading Heart Principle and Bloodbound until I'm more, ready to receive it, I suppose, because I don't want to like these books less because of the mood I'm in, but I'm probably going to end up rereading the Mercy Thompson books in my life. I mean, I bought most of the books, you can see, right? Oh, yes, perfect. Haha. Yeah, I bought these up here. which are the Mercy books. So I'll most likely reread them in my lifetime. So if I'm not feeling it right now, I might like it better later. Like, I think I'll like Alpha and Omega a lot more. Oh my God, you dropped it. What am I supposed to do? You dropped it. I think I'll like Alpha and Omega more later on when I reread it, because now I know the characters better. And the Heart Principle I bought. Are you going to shove that? You already have one in your mouth. You already have one in your mouth. You already have one in your mouth. Okay. All right. You know what? That's fine. So anyway, I own 2 of these books that I am reading and I'm not into. I don't own the Tessa Dare one, and I don't plan on it, but if I don't like them now, I'll read them again later and probably like them. So don't let this sour you on reading Mercy Thompson or Heart Principle, because obviously Sarah can just gush, I'm assuming, for hours on Mercy Thompson. I'm not enjoying it. I'm just bored with everything. Can't find anything to watch on TV. I can't focus on work. I can't read anything. I'm going to just assume it's me. So yeah, this has been my update with the I haven't read much edition. I'm hoping next time I update, I'll feel better and have read more. But you know, who knows, man? Who knows? Oh, do you want to end on a shot of my gorgeous daughter? Oh, she's nude. Hello. Okay. Do you want to say hello? Lick it? My beautiful nude baby. You are so beautiful to me.
It is a lovely rainy-ish day. Rainy-ish because I haven't actually seen any raindrops, but it is overcast and rain is coming, I think. And I finished Hard Bitten. So Hard Bitten was about a vampire drug circulating the streets of Chicago, and Merritt needs to find out where it's coming from. And it was fine. I'll give it 3 stars. It was kind of boring. It was so hard to focus on because I was bored. I'm going to continue with this series, but I don't know. I reread parts of it last year and I had a lot of fun. Mercy's trying really hard to jump on my phone, so if you see it crash, that's what's going to happen. But I had a lot of fun with it last year, and then this year it's just kind of like, it's fine. I don't really know what happens. I wish I was still having as much fun with it, but next I'll probably be starting the next Mercy book, which I think is Night Broken and then Dead Heat, I'm pretty sure. So looking forward to that. Final clip of the vlog, folks.
It's Saturday.
Yeah, it's Saturday. Did you just burp?
Thanks, dog. She really enhances the experience.
She's in here for this because I have to leave the door open. Quick rat update, sailors and intros. We're at a rocky part, but things are going pretty well. Doing pretty well. Some sadder updates. So Merritt's going to have surgery. That's a good update. The sad update is Pilot is bleeding again. So
she's on antibiotics.
Yeah, if those don't work, well, nothing good comes of that. Anyway, where are you reading wise?
I read Batman and Robin, Volume 1, Born to Kill, and Volume 2, Pearl by, oh, I don't know his name. Is it Peter something? I don't know. It'll be in the wrap-up, though. And I enjoyed them. It's the New 52 run of Batman and Robin, and I'm way into Damian Wayne. Everyone hates him, but I love him because you can tell he's gonna have an arc. He's just like such a snot-nosed, arrogant little monster. But that makes it all the better when he gets loyal to the other Robins, because he thinks he has to prove himself because he came from like bad people. So like there's a really great part in, I think, Pearl, where he's with the former Robins, and he's like, when you least expect it, I'm gonna destroy you at something you think you're amazing at, and then I'm gonna take something from you. I'm gonna hang it up in my room as a trophy. And they're just like, why are you gonna attack us? What are you doing? You don't have to prove anything. And he's trying to like do good and fight evil and stuff. And then I think it's Tim Drake who's just like, you already have the R on your chest. You don't need to try this hard. And it's really sweet. So I'm having a good time with Damian Wayne. I love him.
Well, I'm in the middle of Night Broken by Patricia Briggs. I don't know what Mercy Thompson that one is. Yes.
Hold on.
That book.
1, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8.
8.
8 Mercy books.
This one is about okay, so Adam's ex-wife, Christy, I believe is her name, gets a stalker and she runs to Adam for help, and Mercy has to deal with his ex-wife living in her home and trying to be better than her at everything, I guess. And all the while also dealing with her stalker, who turns out to be a volcano god.
I hate when that happens.
It's a lot of fun so far. Obviously, I love it. So,
I'm still on Bloodbound. I'm most of the way through it. But I've taken a break because I've been going through comic books lately. I read a couple other ones. I read, I think it was called Dark Prince Charming. It was a Batman story. It was fine. I read Harley Quinn Black, White, Red, which was fun. But yeah, I've taken a small break from normal books. I'm just reading comic books. I'm gonna probably do a haul soon of all the comic books I got. I can do a preview. I got this Harley Quinn, which is one that I've been missing for a while.
Leave a comment down below what horrible Pink Floyd pun you think we're gonna pull next.
Yeah. Leave a comment. But like, is this not cute? The premise of this one, I'm pretty sure the premise is that Harley wins, like, she does a bid thing or something for like a date with Bruce Wayne. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure. I don't know for sure because I haven't read it. But this is the Amanda Connor. Is that right? The Amanda Connor run of Harley Quinn.
I've seen that cover.
Yeah, this one's always at Barnes & Noble, but in paperback, and I found it in hardcover because, like, while I'm not as much of a stickler for hardcover versus paperback when it comes to comics, I would prefer them to match. So I'm trying my hardest to get these ones that match. Like, I've got a lot of the New 52s that are hardcover, and then I'm trying to get these Batman and Robins all in hardcover.
I'm tickling her foot. The dog.
But there's some omnibuses I'm gonna get, and those are obviously all hardcover. So I'm gonna probably also do a little comic book bookshelf thing soon because I only have one shelf down here, but it's completely full, and I have like a bunch of new stuff to add. So
yeah, I'm gonna be reading a lot of Mercy Thompson and Alpha and Omega because she really wants me to get to Wild Side.
please.
And I'm at the point where we have a lot of them in Audible, so I'm going to be reading Night Broken, Dead Heat, Fire Touched. What's after Fire Touched? Is it Storm Cursed?
Silence Fallen.
Silence Fallen. And then I have Burn Bright at the library. So
I have the first 4 Mercies all checked out currently at the library, and I need to get through them in the next week or so. So I'll probably be talking about that next week because I really need to get through them. And but I'm super focused on comic books, so I'm torn because I really am into the comics.
yeah.
Lately.
And I'm still waiting on Every Which Way But Dead, which is the next Rachel Morgan book. Like, they're so problematic and in some ways very trashy, but every time I start rereading The Hollows, my brain just switches on that little obsession light, and I'm just like, I can't wait for the next one, even though I've read it before.
I don't know if I want to try and go back to those because I don't have the nostalgia you do, so I don't know if I'd enjoy them very much.
I don't think you would, honestly. I think you'd find Rachel insufferable. You might still like Trent.
Like Jinx.
You wouldn't like Ivy.
No, because she's pushy and weird.
Well, that's a kind way of putting it. But, like, I love it in that way where I'm fully aware of what it is and I can make fun of it, like, with the best of them.
See, I wonder if it's going to get annoying if for the next couple weeks I'm just talking about comic books.
I don't think so.
Next week's going to be a weird vlog because I'm going to be I'm going to be at my parents' house for a while. So we're not probably going to be doing a ton of clips together next week. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to actually try and physically read some stuff because since I'm going to be at my parents' house, I'm going to bring my, I think, Wicked Deep and the sequel there and try and get it right. I'm dog sitting for them while they and my little siblings go on vacation. So I'm going to try and get those books read because I don't have them at the library and I don't want to buy them on Audible because I already bought them. So we'll see how that goes.
I don't know how many clips you'll be seeing of me, at least for the beginning of the week, because while the rats are in intros, which if you don't know, intros are a way more involved process than you currently think they are. I'm only doing 2 free roams as opposed to the 4 I was doing this week.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many clips I'll be doing for the beginning of the week. Hopefully they'll be able to start free roam pretty early in the week. It depends on how things go. As of right now, Sailor's being actually really good, but Humdrum has just now decided to just pin her over and over and over again. But I'm sure she'll calm down.
Probably.
Hopefully.
I guess all my clips next week are going to have my gangly puppy in it, whom I've put in these before. Bonnie, the German Shepherd.
Yeah.
She's very leggy now and nuts. So that's going to be fun, trying to get reading done while she's being a psychotic little puppy.
Sorry if this clip seems a little low energy.
It's been a long day.
I have gone to the grocery store. We've gone and gotten food. I cleaned 2 rat cages. I started intros. I did laundry. I had to soak so many rat things. I had to give Pilot medicine. I'm tired, y'all.
I made my bed today. And I showered.
And tomorrow we're going out to eat with my parents. And then I have to clean a fish tank. That only takes 15 minutes though.
I'll make my bed again tomorrow.
And I have to do laundry. Weekends are not fun for me.
I really want to do my comic book shelf. That's what I want. See, the only thing I care... I'm in comic book mode right now. The only thing I'm talking about is Batman, and the only thing I want to do is get my QB shelf organized with my comics. But I'm actually about to see if my oversized hardcovers are going to fit on that cube thing, which I'm not sure they are, and if they don't, then I don't know what I'm going to do.
Did I figure it out?
Well, I mean, I guess my oversized ones would have to go over here, but I really want all my comic books together.
I think they'll fit.
That Deadpool up there is so tall. We'll find out as soon as we stop. I'm going to measure it. Yeah, I ordered Deadpool Volume 3 by Brian Posehn, and it came absolutely destroyed. So I have to get a new copy, and they're not emailing me back. So I'm going to probably miss out on the beautiful new hardcover for $9 on eBay.
All right, well, see you next week.
Yeah. See you next week with a puppy.
Goodbye.
Bon voyage.